with me another funded trader of Traded Pool. Ivan, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm good, thank you, Michael. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for dropping by. And like always, what we're going to do is two things. We're going to cover the journey that Ivan went through, with Traded Pool and also before Traded Pool. His tips and tricks to get funded. And today we have a special kind of thing because we're going to share the dashboard of Ivan, and we're going to talk a little bit about what he did in order to bounce up again from a drawdown, and also about the 30% rule risk parameters that we have within Traded Pool that is super important, and even understood that. Yeah, but also so we'll cover that as well. So let's start diving. Ivan, how long have you been trading for?
I've been trading for about 2 years now.
Okay.
But since I went live with real money about a year and a half now.
Nice. So is it with a broker at first when you started to trade?
I was sort of always like go with my head through the wall with everything. When I first founded trading, I went with Investors Underground.
Mm-hmm.
I did their course and everything, and then I started with a broker, Trade Zero.
Yeah.
And I've been with them for most of my journey. Yeah.
Nice. So you took your own capital and started to trade on it, right?
Yes. In the beginning, I did start off with demo trading.
Right.
But obviously you had no clue, and the first time you buy with like 5 million buying power, you make 100,000. You're like, wow, this is easy. But then once you put your own money in, you realize it's not really that easy. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. When you trade in your own money, risking it, your brain doesn't know if you're gonna get it back, right? What you're risking. So those kind of stuff really affect your trading when it comes to real money. And
Definitely, yeah.
from the beginning, you trade mostly. I saw you trade mostly like small caps, right? Penny stocks. Is it something that you did from the beginning?
Yeah, I've mostly been with small caps because I never really had the capital to trade large caps. I feel large cap you need like a lot of capital to make a bit of money, I feel.
Yeah.
Because if you take maybe a 2%, if it moves 2% or so, I mean you need like a lot of money. And I feel small caps they move a lot. You can make a quick 10-20% profit if you do it right.
Yeah, definitely. I see a lot of traders going straight to the small caps, but some of them actually shifted along the way. You start with small caps because this is what you know because of the broker account, because a lot of guys don't have the capital, like you said.
Yeah.
But then along the way, I see some shifting in their trading, in their stock picking, right? Because now that they understand that they have enough buying power to trade with, 20,000, 160, 80, 260, whatever they chose in Traded Pool, they can actually now start buying Tesla, Amazon, Meta, stuff like that. So interesting to see.
Yes, of course. I just feel I don't really like trading stocks that's below $2 or so. My favorite stock is around like I would say about $8 to $10 or so, especially one that's moved from like $3 up to or above $10. Those are my most favorable ones to trade. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about them. You'll probably look at the pre-market and try to find those, gappers, right? The big movers.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I keep a close watch on the big movers, and I mostly short. I feel my long game is horrible. I always feel it's going to go up, and when I buy in, it just does the opposite. But yeah, I sort of just try when it's moving really quickly. I try to get as close to the top as possible and just take that first drawback. It doesn't have to be a complete trend reversal, but just that drawback gives you already maybe a 5-10% before it makes its way back up again.
So why is it two question actually? Why do you do that? I mean, why do you look for that fade move instead of not looking for a pullback and then buy it again? And second, how do you know that this is the top?
Yeah, well, you never know where the top is. I sort of feel if it's sort of struggling to get through a position, it's sort of like almost like hitting a wall. And on the level 2, there's maybe a big seller coming in. That's where I sort of feel like I want to start, like maybe start my position. If it's not breaking through again, that's where I would want to start. Yeah.
Okay. So mostly short selling, penny stocks. This is something obviously that also Arbner, one of our funded traders, and also Michael and Danny. So a lot of the traders that I see that passing the evaluation, trading penny stocks, selling penny stocks, basically. So
Yeah.
that's super interesting to see. We have many funded traders, and a lot of them go into that area of the penny stock style, and especially short selling them. And
Yes.
and there are guys that focusing only on the big tech, mostly big techs or the QQQ or the SPY. So
Yeah.
interesting to see that.
Yeah, no, definitely. When I started off trading, it was basically I only went long. I barely knew anything about short selling.
Right.
I just thought like every time I go long, I'm wrong, and then I turn to short selling. And the thing is, you're right. You can get a really high percentage rate in short selling, but the problem is, if you don't have good risk management, at one time when you're wrong, you just blow your account because the stock can just shoot up to 300%, or lately we've seen stocks that's gone up to 1,000% and more.
Yeah,
So you really have to be careful as well.
that could easily blow the account. So you gotta have those risk parameters and your stop loss, understand how much you're risking per trade. And obviously, if it started to move against you, especially in those penny stocks, as you mentioned, if it started to move against you, it could easily just skyrocket, right?
Yeah, I know that's the bad thing. I've
Yeah.
sort of like the Nathan from Investors Underground. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah.
Sort of always had a saying like, either I'm in and I'm right, or I'm out. Easier said than done, but yeah, that's sort of
that's for sure. That's for sure.
Everything, yeah.
That interesting. So you traded on your own capital. You found how did you find the trader pool?
Well, I always wanted to go with a broker because I wanted more capital to trade with, and I knew my risk management is bad, and I would rather be with a broker where they close your position for you, where you don't have that option.
Yeah.
So those are the two main reasons. Yeah, it's capital and my lack of risk management.
Right. So you just find us online, or
Yes, I found it. It actually took quite a long time because there aren't many people who offers prop trading for stocks. Really,
Yeah.
You do have brokers, but you also have to put in or prop firms, but you also have to put in your own capital.
Yeah.
Which is quite annoying. And these other ones they only have like maybe 300 stocks you can trade, mostly large caps.
Yeah.
And with you guys, it's quite nice because you have a very big variety of stocks we can trade. Yeah, almost anything.
Nice. So let's share the dashboard and talk a little bit about that. Give some tips and tricks along the way of what you did. So, but I'll first address the topic here. Basically, when you reach your goal, and you did that, you traded on the mini BP. For those of you not familiar with it, mini BP is basically the low cost entry for the evaluation, and you get $20,000 of buying power to trade with, right? Your target is 1800, and you did that basically. But when you reach that, you broke one of the rules that's saying that you can't have a trade that is bigger more than 30% out of the profit. And in your case, because you trade in those penny stocks, you can sometimes find a trade that will just, like we said, skyrocket or just melt it down, and you can make a lot of money on one single trade. But in our case, since we are that prop, we're looking for consistency. We want to see that guys can actually perform well during time and, you know, stay within those parameters, right? So you broke the rule, but we had a chat, and we humans, you know, we understand that sometimes even when a trader will break the rule, we might give him that chance to become a funded trader, because after all, even you did reach that goal. And, you know, looking at your chart, looks pretty good, pretty decent. You had that drawdown. We'll talk about it in a second. But from going all the way up from 600 in minus 600 all the way to the 3,500, that's a great, you know, move that you did there. So yeah, so let's talk a little bit about the area right here. You know, you made a nice profit, went down all the way to minus 600, and then moved to the upside. What happened in this time, you know, when you started to trade and then pulled back all the way to the negative side?
Yeah, in the beginning, I just did my normal strategy, and I must say that week the market was very hot and moving nicely. That's when I do my best, even in short selling. When the market is really moving, I always do my best. And I sort of found I went through a stage there when the market dies down, the sort of spread opens up and everything, which makes it really hard to put a trade in, because if you don't get it, if you go in with like 10,000-15,000 and you sort of not get it right on the cent, you get stopped out very quickly.
Yeah.
And that was my problem there. And I kept going, and then when I reached the bottom there, I knew I had to change something. And so that's when I started looking to only trade stocks that's going to halt. And I was almost very certain I was going to make that big trade, because I missed a lot of them only by a few seconds and everything that week. And I was just waiting for that one stock to get into it. And yeah, it finally happened. I got in and I made, I don't know, 2,500 or something on that one big trade. I managed to get it up. And that's sort of what I'm only doing now. I'm only trading stocks that's going into halt. I'm trying. I really like a stock that's halted up a few times with a big gap between the halts,
right?
And then I try to catch that first move down to go into the first halt down.
That's interesting. You know, I always looked at halt, and I didn't find a real pattern that I can actually, you know, execute according to it, right? So you're saying you're waiting for like 2 or 3 times that it bounce up like a gap, right?
Yes,
and
yes.
you look to short it.
The first, yeah, I really like it when the gap between the halts are quite big. You know, so if it's halted and then like where it opens again, I really like it if that gap there is nice and big, and that sort of like tells you the first halt down will also have sort of a big gap in it. So you want to catch that gap there, and if it does go down into a second halt, then you really have made some big bucks. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
But yeah, they're hard. You have to be quick, and like you miss them very easily. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. The halt movements are very
Yeah,
aggressive.
you know, once I missed that first move down, it's like I've missed the setup. So I don't like try to do the second hold down or something. For me, the move is over with, and I've missed it.
Nice. Okay, so now that you've become a funded trader, let's talk a little bit about that drawdown right here. What was the process, like the mental side of it, when you reached that moment? Do you remember?
Yeah, of course. It's not nice, because I knew when I was getting down to about 700, I was like, oh damn, I need to like just sort of get a small trade in, even just a few hundred, 300, just to get me sort of back to that little safe zone, or not safe zone, just that not that my next trade can blow me out, out of. And so yeah, that happened. I got a little trade then of 300, and then once I got it, then I was only looking for the big one from there on. Yeah.
Yeah, a very big one right here.
Yeah. Hope it's gonna happen again soon.
So that's interesting, definitely. And let's talk about the future, right? You started to trade on a funded account. Obviously, you still have the same parameters, the risk parameters, and also the buying power, right?
Yeah.
And you need to definitely stay in control because you have basically $900 to maximum drawdown, right?
Yeah.
From one hand, you want to push as much as you can. It's a funded account. You want to make money for both. On the other hand, you do need to be careful because you have that chunk that you can lose and basically get there.
Yeah, of course. I'm definitely not going in all in the beginning. I first want to make just a bit, also to have that sort of bit of money to lean against.
Yeah.
Before I would start going big.
Okay, so let's hear it from you in regarding the best tip that you can give for the audience that listen right now that want to become a funded trader. Maybe he signed up already to the evaluation, maybe not. What can you share?
Wow. Well, it's hard to say because it is a struggle. Like you just have to keep to it because it's a lot of ups and downs and everything. Me myself, I'm a very busy man with 2 small kids as well. So I come in the evenings. I sometimes sit till 2 in the mornings, just like doing research, or whether it's trading or doing research, either or. It is a don't underestimate the work, and just keep going at it.
Nice.
Just keep going, definitely.
Yeah, that's a great advice. You know, there were so many times in my trading career when I said to myself, you know, that's not happening. It's not working for me. And just keep going, push harder, and you will reach that. That's a great tip.
It's hard to find the motivation sometimes if you've blown your account or anything, because that hard work, it's happened to me a few times where I've made almost 100% of my account in a week or so, and then you just throw it all away by doing something stupid like not managing risk or something, and it's hard to come back from. But if you stick to it, good things will happen.
Yeah, that's for sure. Sounds good, Even. So thanks so much for that interview. I'm sure you know the guys that listen at home will get a lot from it. And guys, join us. Try the evaluation phase, become a funded trader, and hopefully start making profit for both of us. Thanks so much, Even.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Happy trading, everyone. Bye bye.